It's DJ Ash Noble here. Welcome back to another one. Today we're doing the chain reaction aftermath. So we're going to talk all things chain reaction, how the event went, how my booking went, like we always do in these aftermaths, and also we're going to do a booking announcement as well. We'll do the booking announcement first. So a last minute booking has come in for tonight, and you can catch me in Malton, of all places. Malton is a place I have been to so many times, but never for an event stroke a rave. So it's a really weird, crazy one because it's like something I've never been to before, like to rave, but I've always like drove through it. So there's an event going on called Let's Talk, and they're raising money for Andymans. So it's about showing people that if you are going through something, let's talk. You can talk, you can reach out to people. And we're in a day and age nowadays where everybody is going through something or everybody is feeling something. And sometimes people sadly don't reach out, and they think there's no way out, and then they find that one way out, and that one way out is sadly not the way out that it should be. So I'm really honoured and blessed to be a part of this event. I'm going to be emceeing, so I'm just going to be doing some stuff on the mic, going with my good friend the Layman. He was photographing the event, and he was obviously, doing stuff. So it's going to be shed load of fun. So it's going to go down tonight, so that's going to be good. So you can catch me at Malton at the Royal Oak Pub. So we'll be getting a few drinks in, soft drinks obviously, as I don't drink, and we'll be having a good night and a good vibe. It starts at 6 p.m. and it finishes at midnight. It's a sold out event as well, and because it's only in the Royal Oak, it's like a limited, so now it's sold out, like you can't come in and pay on the door. So the people that have got a ticket, they're gonna come. They're the people that will be there, and not anybody else. You can't just walk past and think, oh, there's a banging rave here, and walk in. It's sold out now, and that's it. The doors are shut, and we're in the Royal Oak and we're partying. So um, it's mad because the last time I properly remember going to a Royal Oak was as a kid to sit on Father Christmas's knee. So to return to a Royal Oak, but in a different way, absolutely banging. So chain reaction. What can I say about chain reaction other than, oh my god, what an amazing night? So for a January Saver event, and for something taking place in January, what an amazing turnout they had. And they battled with some other events that were going on that night. There was Ravers Reunited, which I know is not necessarily right near where Chain Reaction was, but Ravers Reunited it attracts a lot of people, and there was quite a few people going there. So I was a little bit like, how's this gonna go? And I got there, and the place was absolutely heaving. There was loads of people, and there was people coming and going all night. There was people coming in, and the vibe was just absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, they had some battles with the sound system, and the sound had a few technical difficulties throughout the night. Nothing that I would say affected the night. The night still was really banging, and people enjoyed it, so that was a really good thing. And it was such an honour and a privilege to play at that night. It was really amazing. So I was B2B with SLB, and we played old school 90s bouncy techno, so like an early happy hardcore kind of set, but kind of more like I'd say like happy hardcore was kind of like the happy cheesy side of the hardcore in the 90s, and then you had the bouncy techno, which was like the raw, the raw harder. So DJ Lucky, yes, big shout to Tax. So we had a really good set. We had Nats and Space on our set, which was a privilege in itself to have them on the set. And the feedback I got from them after the set as well was really good, especially from Nats. It was a proper. He gave me some really good feedback regarding the set, and it was a proper buzz to have that when somebody just kind of like, because the sound system was playing up, and we had some bad sound issues during our set, and it kind of like disappointed me a little bit, because when you think like I was looking forward to this for so long, and I couldn't wait to play this set, and then it just kind of, for me, it didn't go as well as I wanted it to go because of the sound issues. But when I heard obviously the words from Nats, and he was like, he said like, you played an absolutely wicked set. It was really good, and he was like, well, you don't need me to tell you. And he said, look at the dance floor. The dance floor was heaving, and people were jumping around, and he said, that was a good sign. And it was really good, because the person before me was playing like a jump up drum and bass set, and honestly, like, you could not fault that set. It was absolutely belting, and I was just stood at the side of the stage, like, any moment now I want that MC to give me the mic. I was proper, and the guy was going for it, proper jump up D&B. So I was kind of like, we're going in with a little bit more old school, and there's quite a youngish crowd here. Are they gonna like this, or are they all gonna sort of filter outside and go for a smoke? And do you know what I mean? And so, do you know what I mean? So it was really good that they all stayed and bounced. And when, like I say, when Nat said what he said, it was like a boost, and it gave me a proper real, like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm happy with that now you've said that. And I still really enjoyed the set. Don't get me wrong, it's just there was some issues with the sound, and the mixer wasn't the best mixer, and it was hard to hear in the headphones, and the little cuff on my earphone fell off halfway through the set. And when you just haven't really got time to sit there and try and put it back on, or stand there and try and put it back on, it was a really, it was, when your headphone cuff comes off, it's a really annoying thing, because if you put the headphone on without the cuff, it's really hard and uncomfy without that soft pad in there, and it's harder to hear as well. But trying to put it back on when you stood there and you're in the middle of a set, it's not a good thing. So I had to kind of keep the headphones on and keep the little cuff bit balanced, so it was pressing against my ear, so it wouldn't like fall anywhere. And I managed to somewhat do it, but because we was like B2B, so like every couple of tracks I have to unplug my headphones, so obviously SLB could plug his headphones in, so it was a little bit of a sort of like a tough one. But I'm curious about your diagnosis. I've not physically been diagnosed, so we've always suspected it, like, throughout my life, that there's been something, whether it's like ADHD, autism, that kind of thing. We've always we've always kind of been curious, and my mum and my nan have had many like discussions and arguments about it over the years, like, where my mum has kind of like thought there was something wrong, and then my nan's kind of said, oh, there's, no, he's fine. And there's certain things that I've done, and then some of my friends have also like suspected, think that I've got it, like autism. But I've never been fully diagnosed. Like, I was, before I got my youth job, someone was supposed to help me, to like get on the to get on the get on the list, to find out, to get diagnosed. But it never happened. And I'm still kind of like unsure whether I think that there's something there. Like, I think I personally got it, but like there isn't a physical diagnosis there, unfortunately. So it has its challenges, but also makes us, absolutely, bro. I 100% agree, because there's certain things that I can do that like it's really weird, but it's like the only way to describe it is I can do things that like some people can't do. And one thing is when it comes to music. So when it comes to like dance music, when it comes to like rave music, I've got my brain's like a computer, so I know like what year a track came out, I know the artist, I know the track title, and I know what record label it's signed to. So people can play a song, for example. So, for example, like someone could put on Robin S. Show Me Love, and I'd go, Robin S. Show Me Love, released in 1992. And other people, like, they might know a track, but they might not remember, like, the year it came out. And another good thing as well is I'm really good with dates. So like I've got my friend the layman, and he does photography at all the rave events, and he goes all over the joint, and he gets so many dates and so many bookings that he gets like confused and mixed up, and sometimes he'll accidentally say like double book himself. So say he gets booked on the 1st of March to photograph an event, within a couple of weeks, like, he can't remember what date they booked him to photograph an event, so someone else will ring up and say, "Oh, you're free the 1st of March," and yeah, I'll do the 1st of March, and then he'll go back and realise, and oh, I was actually already booked. So I have to, for some reason, I remember a lot of his dates, so I keep prompting him and I keep reminding him. So I'm like, "Bruv, you booked here on this date, remember?" Or he'll text me and say, "Bruv, do you want to go to this on Saturday?" And I'm like, "You can't, you're booked somewhere else." And then he's like, "Oh shit, yeah, I am." So I don't know, it just gives me this, like, I'm really good with like dates, and I'm really good with dates and like tracks, and when tracks came out, and remembering things, like, usually things that maybe necessarily don't matter as well. Like, I can just remember, like randomly, something like 2 years ago today, I could remember like what I had for tea or something. Like, just as an example, like I said something to Layman like 2 years ago, we did so and so, and we had a Pepe's piri piri, and he was like, "How do you remember that?" And I was like Nate, like telling him stuff about the day, like, right, like in real good detail. Um, it's a weird thing, but um, it's only for tracks you have been exposed to, or ones like enough to look up. Um, it's just a bit of anything, mainly like music I'm into, but like a lot of like dance music, mainly like dance and rave music, because that's what I was brought up around. Um, you know, but it's, I can just like people can put on like a playlist of tracks, or like an album of tracks, and I'll just list all the names of the tracks. Like, if you put a 90s dance album on and it went through all the tracks, like, just after the first couple of seconds of the track, I could tell you what it is. And a good example, there's a track called Higher State of Consciousness, and someone put it on once and it played for about 2 seconds, and I said, "Josh Wink, Higher State of Consciousness." And it's a long track title, so it blew people away that I could remember it just like that. But for some reason I can. But then I suppose like my other sort of like other things that I do is like I'm very fidgety. So I like, if I'm like at like work or something, or if I've been like ever in a classroom or something, I always have to like fiddle with a pen, or I always have to like chew something. And when I was a kid at school, like, I couldn't sit still, so I had to have a special blue cushion in school, and I had to sit on this blue cushion to try and help me sit still. And I've got a kind of like I'm not really good at like doing the same thing just for ages. So like, I can easily get distracted when it's like something I'm not interested in. So like, if we're sat in a classroom and we're learning about something or watching something, I can like easily get distracted. But then, like, if we was in a workshop and we was working on something, like say a motorbike, I did a motorcycle maintenance course. So when we was actually in the workshop and was physically working on the bike, I was all cool and I was fine. But sitting in a classroom going through PowerPoints and filling out forms and stuff, that's where I just boom. So it's crazy. But yeah, we got a little distracted. So yeah, so big shout to Chain Reaction. Absolutely amazing night, and it was really good to see the place heaving. Their next event is in May, and there'll be more information on that very soon. Whether I'm playing at the next event, I'm not entirely sure, but only time will tell. I will hopefully be in attendance to that event, so it'll be good to go down and attend it, whatever happens, and hopefully they have another absolutely belting event. So yeah, so big ups to Chain Reaction. So tonight we're in Malton, and it's all about Andy Mann's club, and it's Let's Talk, showing people that it is okay to reach out and it's okay to talk. And I'm going to be MCing at 7:45 until 8:30. So we're on a 45-minute set. Looking forward to it. Gonna be a shed load of fun, and just enjoying the night and the vibe. And the night finishes at midnight, and then of course it's just a drive back home. And well, actually, I'm not sure if we're just popping over to Leeds briefly to see some people in Leeds. It depends, I suppose, how we feel. And then we'll be coming home. There's another event on in Leeds, and there's a few people we know on the lineup, so we're just going to pop over and maybe say hello to a couple of people, depending obviously how we feel, and we'll take it from there. And yeah, and then tomorrow is obviously back to Sunday, back to just chilling. It's a chilled day, and then we're back to the weekdays again. And then next Friday, I am all the way up in Spennymoor, and we are playing from a bouncer. I'm playing a bounce set in Spennymoor, so I'm absolutely looking forward to that. And then I believe Saturday is Dioxide, so I'll be heading over to Dioxide and enjoying the vibes and enjoying the event there as well. So yeah, so make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share, all of that good stuff. We'll see you soon.